Okay, so in this exercise, we're going to be using loops again, and we're practicing stopping on um, different criteria. And more importantly, actually, this is a good one to practice identifying how you stop a loop. So we're going to be asking the user to enter 5 numbers that are divisible by 3 and 5. And to be clear, we're not asking the user to necessarily type in 5 numbers. They're going to have to type in at least 5 numbers, but the user might enter in lots and lots of numbers that are not divisible by 3 and 5. So the criteria to stop here is once they've entered 5 of them, that's when we're done. So we know from previous examples, we were testing whether something's odd or even, right? And how do you do that? Well, you do a modulus operator by 2. Well, if you want to know if something's divisible by 3, you do a mod 3 and see if the remainder is 0. If you want to know if it's divisible by 5, you do a mod 5 and see if it's divisible and see if the remainder is 0. So each time the user types in a number, it's actually pretty easy for us to figure out whether or not it fits our criteria of being divisible by 3 and 5. The trick here is though, how do we remember how many numbers the users typed in that fit that criteria? And the answer is of course a variable. So we're going to have a variable that represents the count, how many numbers have fit this criteria, and we're going to keep looping and asking the user for a number until that count reaches a certain value, in this case 5. So let's go into our code, and if we were just doing this one time, we would say x equals int input, please enter a number divisible by both 3 and 5. And we could check to see whether or not this number is divisible by doing if x mod 3 equals 0 and x mod 5 is equal to 0. And if it is, we have to take some sort of an action. So again, like I said, we're going to keep track of how many times we've found this number. For now, though, let's just print out, yes. All right, just so we can test that part and make sure that that's accurate. So Python 3. If I type in 4, I shouldn't get any value. Right? If I type in 15, yes, that's divisible by both 3 and 5. 45 is 2. 60 should be, let's see, 30 is, right? So maybe 75 is 2. So look, it's looking pretty good, right? So 18, for instance, divisible by 3, but not 5. Okay, so we're proving to ourselves that we can determine whether or not something is divisible by both 3 and 5. Now let's figure out how to keep track of how many. So I'm going to start in the beginning and say, well, initially, before I ask the user for anything, I don't have any of them. I don't have any values. And what I'm going to say is while the count is less than 5, I want to keep asking the user. And each time the user types in one of these values, I don't have to print yes, I can just do count plus equals 1. So I'll increment the count variable. It might be nice to do a little print statement here. Maybe yes, count, or 5 minus count to go. All right, and that'll tell the user how many more values they need to enter. So if I type in 12, no. 15, yes, 4 to go. 50, no. 60, yes, 3 more to go. 15, 45. Now the user has typed in 4 of them. If I type in, let's say it's 90 divisible by, yep, so 0 to go. Now it looks like, oh, okay, I thought I was still looping actually. So I've completed, and maybe instead of printing out yes 0 to go, we could say yes and we're done. So let's say if count is equal to 5, let's get rid of the parentheses again. Count is equal to 5, print out Yay, all done. Else, because it's kind of weird to say yes, you have 0 to go. We'll do it this way. And I had some leading and trailing spaces that I'll get rid of now. Okay, so 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, all done.